So I'm not the world's best solderer, aka soldering. What I have here is basically a $2,500 piece of junk. And that may not look like much, but I'll show you why it destroyed this piece. This is basically a inductive pickup, and there is a wire inside the concrete of a warehouse, and in a machine this has an inductive pickup that can tell how far off the center is. This right here is center, and it's got 5 inductive pickups inside, and so as the machine's driving along, as it gets away from center, it will steer it back to center as best it can. The furthest it can get away is like 200 millimeters, and it'll sit there and it'll steer itself down the aisle. Some of you guys may have seen these before. These are on order pickers, high reach machines. They go in very tall warehouses. Anyways, so on the bottom of the machine, it needs to be very close to the ground to pick up said wire. And this customer has like a piece of hardware that gets on the ground, and as they drive over it, they will sometimes puncture a small hole or push up on the plastic hard enough that it'll damage the inductive pickup. So I got one here that I've opened up, and this is just a plastic shell that holds the housing, and this is the PCB board. And these right here are the inductive pickups I was talking about. Each one of these will pick up the wire. Obviously, it'd want to be down the center, but as it gets further away from the center, it will correct the steering and allow it to drive one way or the other to try to get back to center. But you can kind of see here on this one, that this guy right here, he's been kind of pushed down. The rest of them are kind of flat. So what we're going to do is desolder this. And I have this other one. And I have this other one that is the exact same part. There's a front and a back. These are both backs. I don't think that matters yet. This will be a part of my testing. But I'll be taking the inductive pickup off this and swapping it over onto this guy. So basically we're taking one for donor parts and making one good part, and then turn around and be able to sell it. Now I can't take ones that are damaged, like the board's damaged. There is no reman available for these, and these inductive pickups are proprietary. They are not made by the company that sells this board. It is made for them, but it is proprietary to them and them only. So you can't buy these pickups. So that's why I'm going to take an old damaged one. Both of these literally, I'll show you here in a second, have basically got pushed up and damaged just the one pickup. So I'm going to replace that one with a new one, and we're going to put it on a machine and see if it works. Now these machines have nothing else wrong with them. They communicate still on CAN bus. They have no errors. They just literally cannot find center. So instead of just throwing these things away, and like I said, there's no reman available for these, we're going to see if we can salvage what we can out of these. Okay. So this one was damaged a little worse. Plus the box is pinched real bad. Like you can see how it's broke and pinched. So this one is going to be my donor for parts. Even though they both have the same failure, I worry about how pinched the board is, that there's more damage than just the inductive pickup. So I was trying to see if there was a specific part number underneath the tag. There is not. So I'm going to desolder this one. I already tried doing this in the field. I'm going to desolder this one real quick because this is the damaged one. I'm curious if there's a part number underneath it. Plus this will give me a chance to practice. Just an Amazon special. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna try the I'm gonna try the heat gun first. I've never actually used this. I'm gonna try that guy first and we'll see what it does. And just for the record, I don't have any formal experience on soldering electronics. I did learn a little bit in high school. However, the only experience I have is the little bit of soldering wires together I've done in the field. I have soldered on like little resistors and relays and stuff into a circuit board. Pretty simple things, but this will hands down be the most expensive thing I've soldered on. So you're going to get to watch me kind of fumble my way through this and figure it out. Just starting to turn to liquid there. What I'm worried about on doing this guy is damaging the pickup soldering points themselves. So I'm actually going to say no to this. I'm going to go to the soldering iron. Yeah, that's what I was worried about right there, how that just kind of came off. That's what I was worried about. So let me see how well this comes off. I'm going to practice this, maybe get a little run time on this. I'm going to take this piece of copper. I'm going to try to bend this into something usable. This is a little trick I picked up from one of the YouTube videos I've watched where you bend a piece of copper around and touch multiple solder points to hopefully simultaneously heat them and pull it all off at once. I have done this before with success, but not with something that's this fragile. Okay, so I have curved this piece right here. I've got flux on everything. So I'm going to try to just heat this copper piece and see if we can get lucky and get this off of here. And what I've seen in the past is guys will flux and solder right to this thing. I don't have a solder paste dispenser, so this is like a really ghetto way to do this, but I will try to solder that right to it. Okay, should be soldered right on that. So now I should be able to just heat this thing up all equally. Hopefully be able to pull this inductive pickup off. That wasn't my best performance, but now this is a solder wick. Pick up all the old solder. think I burnt this trace off this one. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. I might turn that down just a bit. We'll probably go to like a... Went down to like 800. Like I said, I'm a novice to the electronics game. If you guys have any YouTubers that you guys follow that has good instructionals, drop a link down below. Leave a comment. Something to help me out. This is not something I'll do all the time, but I plan on dabbling in a little bit. There's a little bit of solder on there. Let's see if we can get this off of here. Come on, baby. Up, up, up. There we go. Now we gotta clean this up. The issue going to be filming this is staying in frame. That's difficult. Okay. I wouldn't call it the best, but it's not the worst. So now we're going to get a little more flux on there. Then we're gonna solder our pads. Which that looks pretty good. Now we need to get our new good. Here's our known good. And we're going to try to put it in the same orientation. So got that like that. And then I've got my little pusher dealy bopper. And hopefully we can do this. Okay, I think we got that there. This right here is an experiment and or proof of concept. This part will be used to keep the customer going if they have a rear antenna go down, and not actually selling it to them right now. I think truly the only way we're going to know is the day that I swap this out and it works or doesn't work. Okay, there it is. Take a look at our final product here. Gotta wipe it down one last time. And those little fibers, that's not the copper, that's isopropyl alcohol wipes. I need to get like a bottle of it and some cotton swabs. Okay, and there is the factory one. Here's mine. I might have put too much solder on there, but I think that's going to be okay. Because I don't have anything that's They're not crossing onto each other, so I think we're okay. There's our solder joints. So I think we'll be able to put this back together. We'll take out our least broken case. Let's have to get in. Is there a case back later? Take this. Okay, are you happy? All right, so let's put those screws in it. Hopefully. Actually, don't so. Put all these screws in this. All right, not the greatest solder in the world, but hopefully. So I recorded this quite a while ago. I wanted to be able to test this out on a machine to make sure it worked. So future me here reporting back to you that it does function, although I do know I have some work I need to do to get better at this in order to create a in-house reman program. So that way we can actually sell these back to the customer at a cheaper rate than $2,500 a piece for new ones. Anyways, appreciate you guys following me along. Hit that like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Fixed Ish.